foxes have started to befriend me somewhat, as I probably smell, having cut down to 1 shower a week, you know, to save on the lecky. The other night I got out of my car and there was one of our local foxes just looking at me. Our urban foxes don't look as healthy as the foxes in more prosperous areas of the country. So my fox friend looked a bit bedraggled compared to those I had seen when I was down south. He came over and sniffed me, nodded his head in an approving way, obviously not showering much is a real advantage in Foxland. I followed him and soon we came to his lair. Not a lot to write home about structurally, but inside it was full of foxes who were holding what looked like musical instruments. They were fashioned from bits of wood and had strings which looked suspiciously like they'd come from living creatures, as they had flecks of what looked like blood sticking to them. Having travelled around a bit and observed that people have different customs, I try and fit in where I can. Imagine my surprise when one of the foxes offered me an instrument. It was not the guitar or banjo of my dreams, but it did have 4 strings. Nothing in the way of frets, but then my fretting was enough. I began strumming the instrument and singing. Initially the foxes seemed happy. Halfway into my set, one of them stood up and said, "We were promised Springsteen if we made the instruments." Then they all started to get angry. Well, I did what any red-blooded woman would do in those circumstances. I offered them a recording deal. And that is why myself and the feral slow foxes are trying to hit the big time.